Greetings, steel mill modelers, HO Skellers. Here's my latest build. It is a Manitowoc 3950W mounted on a pedestal, mounted on a barge. Now, why would anybody need a crane on a barge? Well, I got a water feature and I really have no access to unload barges from way up top, so I figured I'd go the extra mile and build a crane mounted on a barge. Now this build started off actually with this barge right here. I built this a few years ago, and I made the load for it, and then I thought, dang, I need some way to to access to unload this barge, so I figured I'd start building a barge. And one of the first things I went through was my junk box to find some sort of pedestal to build a crane. And all I did, this was one of those sidewalk solar lights. I keep weird stuff like this because where can you get a shape like that? Anyway, I cut this thing off, hot glued a piece of styrene plate on there that was also a circle, and then drilled a hole. Then I built this crane. This actually took me, this project and this crane project took me, about a month of coming out here tinkering whenever I could get time away. Some of the features on this crane I decided to do was to work on the counterweights a little bit more. These aren't detachable because why would you need to take counterweights off a crane on a barge? You wouldn't. So I built this to mimic the effects of crane weights that have been attached to one another. They don't come apart, but there's a gap, a piece of styrene in between each weight. There's also a air conditioner right behind the cab, cage ladder, exhaust, the whole shebang-a-bang. And inside is pretty Spartan. There's just a seat. And Bob's down here to give you a kind of an idea of the scale. This barge is 39 inches wide by 72 feet long in HO. And this build wasn't that bad. One of the major problems I keep having or had with these cranes is whenever I go left or right when I'm working on it, when I'm building it, the screw always or the bolt always gets loose. So I remembered I had a brain, so I used Loctite, and there is no more problem. That's not ever coming off unless I cut it. It also built this hugely oversized scrap grapple. I think I'm going to take it off here and put it on the Ralph P. Anderson slag pot gantry crane. That would be more fitting to the scale of that crane. So I'll have to build another one. And that is about it with this build. The hardest part for me was this thing right here, man. This took me 3 days to come up with this. An idea of how to make it to where it'd be structurally strong. So all I did was take some these things are great. If you ever go to the grocery store, be on the lookout for these things. These are like our hors staves, and that's what I used. These are styrene. You can make all sorts of stuff out of those. Those are great. Well, anyway, that's what I did. I just heated it up here and made up almost a 90-degree angle and shoved it down the tube, and then that held it, anchored that to hold the boom, and the boom is now glued, so all this is, it ain't going nowhere. And it was like so much fun to build this crane. I really like building cranes, but I think I'm done building cranes for a while. I'm going to focus my attention on other things I need to build, and we'll see how it goes from there. I think it turned out pretty good. So that is it, folks. Oh, you might want to get food and water enough for at least 2 weeks. That'd probably be a really good idea right now. In the coming weeks, I'd start stockpiling food if I was you. Anyway, I'm out. God bless you all. Bye.